Hey guys, it's me back again. I just thought I'd do a bit of an unboxing type review type first look video because I have this new robot here today. It is it's a MekaMon by Reach Robotics. So basically, this is a robot that I have been in the kind of feedback testing group for a while. They've been in development for a good couple of years now. Like I said, the company is Reach Robotics, and the robot itself is called a MekaMon. And basically, what this is it's meant to be a gaming robot. So you have like a tablet or a phone, some kind of Bluetooth device that can run apps, like an iPhone or an Android device. And you control it via that, and there's kind of an augmented reality aspect, so kind of like stuff like enemies and obstacles will appear on the screen and you can interact with them. But also, if you have two, which I happen to have because I got quite a good discount on these, you can you can battle them, and there's all sorts of different weapons and armor and stuff that you can switch out. So without further ado, let's get into this package. As you can see, I have not opened this yet. It's fully sealed. I got my trusty Stanley knife, so hopefully hopefully I won't ruin the box inside, but I shall just open this. I'm sorry for the shaky camera. I was trying to get my tripod out to use it, but it's a really dodgy old one, and it's really tiny, and I couldn't find anywhere to put it. So you're getting the shaky camera today, and probably a highly imbalanced volume on my voice. So sorry about that. But anyway, let's get this open. Oh, this is going to be tricky, isn't it? Maybe if we... Right. There we go. That's the back of the box. Turn the box over. There we go. So you can see their kind of slogan, at least at the moment it seems, is next level battle. And this particular MekaMon is the Panther variant. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, the Panther Squad variant. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I think it's kind of the team that controls them, because I mean these things have a whole kind of lore based behind this kind of future sci-fi story, which I think is really cool. But yeah, this is they come in several different colours, but I think this first batch, which is, I mean, they're sold out now, but they will be. This is kind of like the beta or beta or however you want to say it release. So there will be more of these. I think they'll be out by the end of this year-ish. Don't quote me on that though, because I'm not entirely sure. But so yeah, you can see they're these kind of these quadruped robots. They've got a bunch of different degrees of freedom each. Like, it's not just like your like a cam system or something. It's really quite complex motion, and you can get a lot out of it. They've got these little, you can't see it very well, but they've got these little guns on their shoulders. You can attach stuff to the back. These leg shields, I think, are interchangeable. We'll have to see. We may open it up. Back of the box, pretty much. There's that, the future is within reach, and a couple of logos and some kind of legal stuff. It's a very swanky looking box, I have to say. It's one of those ones that's made for like really thick card, and it comes in two halves, top and bottom, and there's this sleeve that goes over it. So let's get this open. I'm gonna pause the video for a second while I get this plastic wrapping off, because I can tell it's going to take me a while and going to be really annoying to watch. Okay, right. So I've passed the wall of cellophane. You can see the box, as you saw when it came out of the shipping box. I guess it's got this little carry handle, which I guess would be useful if you're going to take this kind of thing to your friends. Like I said, it's a very high quality box, so it would probably last you quite a while if you were going to like carry it around and stuff. It's not it's probably something I would recommend. I'd probably put it in your backpack rather than keep it in this box. But if you have nothing else, then I guess that's a nice little touch. I can't think of another reason you would have a little handle like that, but it's nice to see that thought has been put in. So we've got this sleeve to take off now, which is probably also going to... Oh no, it's not too bad. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you. So on the side of this kind of sleeve thing, it just kind of shows what you can do with them. You see these guys have got like 4 MekaMon all at once, and it kind of shows you there's a bit of the app footage there. So if I just turn this down, oh, we're upside down. Okay, so this is the top of the box. Looks quite almost a bit intimidating. It's very dark and the black and red, but I like it. It's very sleek and modern. So if we try and pop this, let me put the camera down here for a second. Right, that was a bit better. Now I got the handle out of the way. So we've got a kind of bit of paper. I might as well read it while we're here. Thank you. Welcome, Mecha Pilot. Thank you for joining us on your journey and purchasing a MekaMon beta. So yeah, it is the beta or beta version. We really appreciate your patience through our various unexpected days. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, over 3 years of hard work, and yeah, it is a very small team at the moment. It's only a couple of people developing these things, but they've done a fantastic job. Especially considering it's this hardware startup, you know. Yeah, it's not perfect just yet, but yeah, they've got to fix up the app to some extent. I mean, it's obviously none of it's really finished, but it's getting there. The hardware itself is probably more or less there, but it's the app and the programming that's the tenuous part. Is tenuous the right word? Maybe. So we got a quick start guide here. Ooh, look at all this stuff. Product information guide. Packaging must be kept. Battery and charging. Okay, so that's pretty standard stuff that comes with a lot of electronic gizmos. Okay, so we got a bit of a setup sheet here. Apologies if you can't see this very well. There's a bit of a glare from the window there. But you can see it kind of comes in pieces. You can see legs being attached to the main body there, and the cannons are good. So there's a lot of modularity, a lot of things you can switch out. Yeah, the leg shields you can see do come off there. And yeah, you've got to give it an initial charge, assuming because if this uses any kind of lithium battery, really, they'll want to store it at like kind of half voltage-ish while it's being shipped and stuff, so that it doesn't get well, so the batteries aren't stressed. But yeah, so the initial charge will only be briefly, but once you've run the battery down, it'll take longer to charge it fully because it'll be at a lower voltage. I don't know what's inside here. Is this more? Oh, it's a poster. Wow. Okay, let me just get out here. Look at that. That is some hella cool artwork. I like the symmetry on it as well. Very, very cool. Alright, so I guess you could, put that up on your wall or whatever. On the back there's kind of just a bunch of safety warnings and don't throw it in the bin. I always like that logo because they put it on just the most expensive stuff. It's like, oh, don't throw this away as soon as you get it. It's probably a bad idea for the environment as well as your wallet. So this thing here, I kind of know what this is, but if I didn't already I would be confused. But this is it's actually a really high quality, it's kind of like a mouse mat type design, but it's a lot thinner. So this is like an AR or augmented reality mat So I think the idea is that you put this down on your floor or whatever, and the app can recognize it because it's a specific pattern, and everything else, it uses this as a reference point for everything else in the app. I believe that's how it works. So like if you ever had the 3DS and with the augmented reality app, you had the AR cards, and basically they would you would put one of those down on the table, and that would act as like a reference point for all the other things that it did, all the other things that, you would see it on the screen, and everything would be around or inside that card. So as long as you have this within frame of your phone's camera while you're using it, that should probably be good. But I assume you don't need this for everything that the MekaMon does, just for the augmented reality parts, so that the phone has a spot to track, or the tablet, I guess, if you're using that. So yeah, like I said, it's kind of a mouse mat design, very what would you call it? It's a kind of silky covering on it. It's quite nice, and on the other side, it's like this rubberized woven. It's not. I mean, obviously, it's not woven, but it feels. It's got that kind of fabricy texture, like a. I don't know how you describe it, but if you have a mouse mat, you'll know what I mean. Which I'm assuming you do. So, okay, this is another layer inside the box. We have some interesting, sort of fictional, but kind of informative technical information, I guess. So there's, the shields. It says, you probably can't see it because it's so tiny. Composite metal foam core. This material is made by embedding hollow steel spheres in a stainless steel matrix created from a metallic powder for stopping ballistic rounds. Graphite nanotube and rhenium matrix coating. The graphite nanotubes capture the light and dissipate the heat into the rhenium metal matrix. Effective for stopping laser weapons. Oh, okay, that makes sense, I guess. And I think I don't know if these are some kind of graph that represents the energy absorption. I'm assuming like the spectrum of light maybe that it absorbs, or it could be nothing and just made up. I don't know, but it looks cool either way. But up here it says weapon Fury rifle, 50 cal AP tungsten carbide saber round. I think that's how you say it. I'm no expert on guns. Approximate velocity 1,219 meters per second. The max effective range in meters is less than 2,000 meters. So, yeah, I mean that's it's obviously some kind of ballistic weapons it's got here. The Fury rifles, tungsten carbide saber round. That is just be incredibly expensive. Considering tungsten carbide is pretty brittle, I don't know how good a bullet it would make. Maybe though. I'm again no expert on guns or ballistics. Chassis construction. Structured aluminium, that's nice and light. Density of aluminium, it's got written down there, that's nice. 2.7 grams per. Is it grams per? I mean, it says kilograms per cubic meter, but 2,768, yeah. It's about correct anyway. I'm sure it's exactly correct, they would have checked this. Total robot weight unloaded 22,577 kilograms. Okay, 22 tons. So these things in the fictional world are a lot heavier, obviously, than the toy. But I think that's pretty cool. Unless that comma is a decimal point, as in like the kind of. In most of Europe, they use a comma for a decimal point, whereas we use a full stop for a decimal point. I don't know. But, whatever. Because it says height at tracking matrix target point 190 centimeters. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out later. Anyway, yeah, more kind of graphs. I'm not sure what they're intended to mean. But yeah, they're there. Sorry if I'm being ignorant about that, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so under that layer, which is just an entire kind of foam, I think this very thick card is kind of stuck to the top of this foam. We have the MekaMon. So we've got the main body in the center here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out. Oh, it looks like the legs are already attached, so I won't have to pop those on. So I can just lift that out. Okay, there we go. So there's the main body and the legs attached in this kind of, I don't know, very compact pose. And we've got the leg shields in here, which they appear to have there's 3 contacts there, and they've got like these clips here. So they must clip onto the legs, and some kind of detector in here, perhaps, for you know, for detecting IR beams, maybe? I don't know, there's no kind of transparent or semi-transparent window here, so I'll have to figure out how that works later. But yeah, we got 4 of those. The idea with these, I think, will be, well, I'm almost certain you'll be able to buy additional ones of these. So you've got your one MekaMon, and then you buy parts and you slot them on, and within the app it gives it, you know, different characteristics and all sorts of different you know, different weapons have different powers and different abilities, same as the leg shields. So I think this is the battery. I don't know if it's just the battery, if it's got some kind of protection circuitry in there, I'm not sure. But you can see it's got the Panther logo on the front and some... Oh, they're the clips, that's cool. So you see these 2 grey bits, you just pinch them in, and the little clips on the side there that hold it in to the robot move in. I think that's quite cool, because it's a way of disguising the fact that it's a battery and, you know, the mechanism, without making it look like just screw holes or whatever. So that's very nice. We also have the Fury rifles, as you saw before. So these have 3 pins on the bottom. I'm assuming all this stuff that fits on is you know, passive electronics, in that it, maybe passive isn't the right word, but it communicates using power from the robot. There's no kind of batteries inside here. I assume that's always going to be the case. I doubt they would bother having a battery inside the weapons or the leg shields themselves. It'd be too heavy. So there's the other one. They're the pretty standard weapon for these. I just want to show you, before I go any further, on top of the robot there are these 3 weapon points. So we've got one on either side, and then we've got the one at the back here. Now this one at the back, I think, will be for larger weapons. I think sometimes maybe you have a very big cannon, maybe it'll use all 3. But yeah, it's important to note, one Fury rifle will fit on each side, but then you've also got this one, so obviously bigger weapons that kind of maybe go over the head or take up or go, you know, from the back over both sides are in development. Or maybe even like an artillery kind of thing. This is just speculation here, but maybe you could have an artillery weapon where it fires kind of upwards into the air and then kind of goes. Obviously, these weapons, they don't actually fire anything physically, but in the app and between MekaMon there is communication, and it can tell when you've shot and it's hit the opponent. So I think the final thing in here is just a standard DC adapter, AC/DC adapter. Really standard plug there. There's a positive and negative. in there, and you plug it in and it charges the battery. So, assuming that there's no like additional charger piece, then there must be on the MekaMon a port where you can plug that in and it will charge it itself. So, now there's a big, you can see there's a big IR window on the front. That must be where the hits are registered, which is interesting. But I reckon there's also still some on the legs. Perhaps that's the case. Oh, there's another one on the back as well. Oh, and they're on the sides. Okay. So there's, on each of these 4 faces, you can see there's these IR. I'm assuming they're IR windows anyway, where it can sense the infrared beams. Oh no. Okay. So I see it now. The battery has its own little little socket where you can plug in the adapter. I'll show you now. So obviously you plug that into the mains, you have the battery, and you get the idea. You plug it in there. So this must have charging circuitry inside it. Depending on what battery it is, that will differ. But actually, let's have a look. What do we have? Lithium polymer rechargeable battery. Okay, so this is the these are some of the batteries with the highest energy density. I'm not sure what voltage we're running. 11.1 volt. So that would put us at 3S. Yeah, so 3 cells inside this thing, because each cell of a lithium polymer battery is 3.8, 3.75, something like that, nominal, 4.2 maximum. So yes, 3 cell battery, that should be more than enough for this. Oh well, probably just enough, but it's plenty. And it must have the charging circuitry and the balancing, because you need to balance the cells if this is a 3 cell battery. It must have the balancing circuitry inside this little packet, which is pretty cool. So, I think that's everything inside the box. I don't think... Yeah, this foam layer is kind of stuck in there. So, that's everything inside the box. I'm going to get this thing charged up and running and put together, and I will show you how it works with the app. Okay, welcome back. So I have the MekaMon rather, all nice and all nice and wired up. So yes, I have the battery in. I have the app running, so we're all good to go. First off, a couple of things though about the hardware. Yeah, one of the things has this idle animation that is fantastic. But yeah, there's got quite a few of those. I failed to mention there's these little tiny little guns next to the head. Just give me a second. Right, yeah, little tiny guns. I'm not sure what they're called, but I'm pretty sure even if you don't have the Fury rifles on here, these will still act as a basic means of attack. Yeah, the other thing was, I don't think these actually do have an IR sensor in them. I'll still have to take the screws out and have a look inside, but that's for another time, because this is just a first look video. Yeah, I also forgot to mention these cables here. Very nice, kind of braided. You know, they're not plastic. They're just yes. Yeah, they're quite nice cords rather than a plastic covering. So that's very nice and high quality. There's a little bit of like I don't know what you'd call it. A little bit of fluffiness on some of them. Some of them. I can't actually find any of them now, but yeah, at least when I got it straight out of the box, a couple of them had a bit of fluff on there. I wish you would stay still for a second. I'll unbind you in a minute. Yes. Other thing is, you can see the head lights up. That's pretty cool. And when you've got it set up, these two, when you turn it on, these two lights at the back will flash on and off. I think they're just red, I don't think they change colour or anything. So I think that's about it. Let's get into the app and controlling it. Now, you can see it's struggling a little bit. It's struggling a bit on the bed, so I'm going to have to put it on the floor, and because, you know, the bed's kind of, you know, not a very good surface for it to walk on, especially with the rubber feet. I do apologise for the state of my carpet. I've been making my own robots, so that's why covered in HDPE shavings. Now, the app, I've accessed this app because I'm in the beta program, but obviously when these are released, it'll be, you know, just plain in the App Store, or in the you know, whatever you want to call it, the Google Play Store. So you see there's a couple of things here. I'm not going to go through everything because, again, this is just a kind of first look video. I don't want to crazy, like, you know, go into everything. But anyway, so the first thing up, hopefully you can see it. It's very white and bright. If I could record my screen, I would, but I don't know how to at the moment. So, if I just click this, this is the Mecha Bay. You can see my currently bound MekaMon on the left there, sorry, on the right, and on the left, but yeah, this is the, this gives some stats about the MekaMon at the moment. Obviously you can select between the MekaMon, I guess, that you own. Tech tree, I think that's some kind of progression, maybe as part of the single player mode, which I don't think the arcade isn't implemented yet, but it will be at some point along the line. Stats, there's nothing in there yet as well. Again, it's a beta release, so still plenty of things to add. Oh, we backed out of there. So if you go onto this one here, now if you don't have a MekaMon bound, that will say bind, and you click that, and then you can just bind it like any other Bluetooth device. You obviously have to make sure you have your Bluetooth on at the top there. Okay, so if we go to drop zone down here, you can see this is the this is basically the configuration for your MekaMon. Now I've got these two. I've got the kind of strafe and forward and back on the left hand side, and the turn on the right hand side. So if I move my finger, if I put my thumb in the middle here, and I move it upwards, we can see the MekaMon moves forwards. If I put my thumb on the turny bit and I put it left, the MekaMon will turn left. Pretty cool, eh? Right, so I'm going to get it to walk across the floor here. And turn around. You can use these at the same time, obviously. You can go forward and turn. You can go backwards as well. And you can kind of... Oop. Hey up. Sometimes it gets a bit stuck on things. Yeah, so you can strafe as well. But yeah, obviously I've only got one hand, so I can't do both at the same time. The other thing is there's a couple of configuration options. There's the kind of the footfall of it, I guess. These are kind of presets for these. I think, can you adjust these individually? Yes, you can. So you can put these up and down individually, and can you tap those? Yes, you can. You can plus and minus it a little bit, like tiny bit by tiny bit. So it's really, really configurable. So that's the walking speed, and you've got step height, step duration, step shift. I don't understand what all of this does at the moment, obviously, but let's try body height, for example. That's at 50% right now. I'm going to adjust that while I have my camera on the MekaMon. So that's at full height, and that's as low as it goes, which is pretty much touching the floor. So yeah, obviously, like I said, these soft, medium, and hard icons at the side are the presets. So you can kind of set how you want it to step. I'm going to put it on soft for the moment. And also, on the right hand side, you've got kind of presets for the type of floor it's going to be on. So if I just press carpet here, it will adjust slightly. There's also laminate and tile. So if you want to run it on those floors, you can change these. I'm not exactly sure what difference it makes, but obviously you can see the bars change when you tap those. I think it's the step height and step duration that's mostly affected. A higher step height and longer duration for, I guess, less flat floors is what's needed. There's also a gate thing, so you can make it trot, which is kind of the standard movement, I guess. It's kind of higher stepping and pretty fast. There's also crawl, which makes it more spidery and sneaky. So it's pretty cool. And there's also the kinematic stamps part, which I honestly don't know. I think it's the movement of the legs, but I'm not entirely sure yet. I've still got a lot to discover about this. And then there is a restore defaults button if you have messed up. There's also a tutorial. You can hear it clicking every now and then when it gets stuck, and that's because there are there's little torque limiters in the legs. So if it does get stuck on stuff, it can make its way across most obstacles, but if it gets stuck, you needn't worry about the motors breaking or anything, because it's got torque limiters, as far as I know anyway. So the tutorial, this kind of shows you the battle mode, once it's loaded up. There we go. So I've already been through this, but it shows you the interface. I'm not going to go through it all now, like I said, but it wants me to move that and stuff. So it shows you how to control it. And there's also your shields and your kind of overheat thingamabob, overheat bar at the top, and you use up more heat every time you fire a weapon, which is these buttons over here. And there's some other augments. They call them augs, or augments. But I will probably show you that in a different video, because this one is going to be quite long already. So I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing and first look at the MekaMon. I had a better look at that letter that was included with the package earlier, and basically this isn't the final version of the MekaMon. It is it's the beta version, and they've said that they will send me, because I purchased this, they will send me the full version when it releases. Again, I was not given this product, I wasn't paid to review it, but I am part of the feedback team on it, so it's kind of my job to provide decent feedback. Yeah, I had to pay for this, albeit at a discount, so you know, my opinions on this are fairly you know, as unbiased as they can be for you know, being a part of the beta testing group. I think it's pretty awesome. I think the movement, which is one of the things they emphasised when they were advertising this product to us. The movement is really, really characteristic, and really it really adds a kind of life. It makes it feel very real and very alive. I think it's an excellent bit of kit, and I will see what I can do with it in the coming days. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.